Is it okay, Noha, now? Okay. So welcome, my dear friends and colleagues, to this session, to today's session, to Tag 2. Okay. Welcome, Miss Noha, Miss Rehab, Miss Tahar, Miss Maha, Mr. Ahmed, and Miss Samia, of course. Welcome to you all. Okay. Let's share our presentation for today. Do you remember what was the first tag about? Do you remember? Who can tell me? With the brilliant one. Do you remember what was the first tag about? Some
Yes,
teaching?
we
Yeah.
talked about inductive and deductive
methods.
Yeah, some teaching approaches. Okay. So this is an extension to the first tag. This is tag 2K. But before we start, let's remember what we have learned before. Okay. Do you remember what are the approaches we have learned together? What are they? Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Rehab or Samia, you can tell me your name and then answer.
Yes, this is Sahar.
Yes, okay, Sahar.
We talked about grammar translation approach.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, what else?
Audio-Lingual method.
Yeah, that's great. The grammar translation method, the audio-lingual method. Okay, all right.
Direct method.
Direct method. Did it have another name? The direct method? It has another name. Do you remember what is it? The natural.
Yes.
The natural method. Yeah, that's right, Sahar. Yes. Okay. What else? We have another one. Starts with letter C.
A communicative learning method, I think.
Yes, the communicative.
Yes,
communicative.
Sorry, Ms. Firdaus.
Teaching approach.
Can you hear me?
Yes, of course. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, my dear friends. Yes.
Can you hear me, Ms. Firdaus?
Yes, I can hear you, dear. Yes, go ahead. اتفضلي حبيبتي. I can hear you.
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, Ms. Firdaus, I'm traveling to Upper Egypt, so I can't be contact with you now.
Okay, no problem, my dear friend.
But
okay.
I will try to.
Okay, حبيبتي, no problem at all.
I will
We're
try
gonna
to
record this session and you
after
can watch it.
After 1 hour.
Okay, no problem.
But I will try to share you as I can. Okay.
Okay, no problem حبيبتي, توصلي بالسلامة إن شاء الله بإذن الله. Okay, no problem at all. Okay. So in the previous session, we have talked about 4 teaching approaches: the grammar translation method, the audio-lingual method, the direct method, and we call it the natural method, and the communicative teaching approach. Okay, can you give just to give us only one sentence about each approach? Do you remember? What about the audio-lingual approach? What does it depend on? The audio-lingual approach, from its name, audio-lingual.
It depends on audio recording.
Yeah, maybe audio recording, maybe the students they listen to something, to a context, they listen, and after that they speak or tell what they have learned. Okay, what about the direct or the natural method? What about the direct or the natural method? How do students learn in this approach?
It focuses on oral interaction.
Yeah, that's right. So do they have any grammar? Do they have any grammar rules?
No translation. No focus on grammar or translation.
I think, Ms. Ford.
Yeah.
I think it's a traditional way. It's a traditional way or method in teaching. So the teacher depends completely on flashcards, teaching grammar as usual.
Which method or which approach? Which approach do you mean, my dear friend? Which approach do you mean traditional? Which one? Which
Grammar.
one is the traditional one? Yes, the grammar.
The second one is for those, I think it depends.
We ask about the direct method or the natural method. How do learners learn through this method or approach? The
An oral
direct method?
interaction.
Yes, oral interaction, yes. So no grammar rules at all. It's not, okay, it's not traditional, by the way.
No
Students,
translation.
no translation, of course, no grammar rules. It depends, yes, in oral interaction with the teacher. So it's not traditional, but the students or the learners learn automatically through oral interaction with the teacher and with their peers. And after that, they can respond or interact with the teacher. Okay, so it's not traditional, my dear friend. What about the approach which is traditional and old? Which is the oldest approach, which looks traditional and depends on the deductive way to give the grammar rules and the translation to the HE grammar rule. What is the traditional approach? Which one?
Grammar translation.
Yeah, that's right. So the oldest one and the most traditional one is not the direct method or the audio-lingual, but it's the grammar translation method, because it depends only on grammar and translating into the mother tongue, okay? So today we are going to complete what we have learned before. We're going to add some new approaches to the previous ones, okay? But before we start, I'd like to share you a video about pronunciation. Okay, are you ready to watch a video about pronunciation? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's share our video, our pronunciation video as usual. And after that, we're going to come back again to our lesson for today or our session for today, okay? So we're going to stop off from time to time to have comments on the video. And tell me when you can, okay?
Today we're going to have a look at the letter B and all the sounds that can be pronounced like in English, okay? Stick with me. Okay, the letter B is nearly always a bilabial, that means two lips, voiced sound, okay? We make it really easily by putting the lips together, building pressure, that means like this, and then releasing that pressure, letting go. So, b, 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 b. Okay, you build pressure. If you want to know that you're making this B sound correctly, make sure that your vocal cords here are working, are in use, okay? You must be using these because it is a voiced sound. That means that it is made using the vocal cords, okay? Vibrate the vocal cords and push that B out from behind your lips that are locked together. B, 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 okay? The B sound at the beginning of words, you'll find in things like baby, two B's in there, baby, baby, big, big, between, between, very common word, between, between. Also, the most common verb, be, 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 to be. You might know that famous Shakespeare line, to be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be, the Shakespeare. To be or not to be. To be or not to be, okay? Also in words like back, 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 and better, better, better. And in a common preposition, but, but. Try this sentence. I like this, but I don't like that. I like this, but I don't like that. I like this, but I don't like that. You'll also find B in the middle of words, okay? About, about, about. This is about the B sound. This lesson is about the B sound, okay? Twice in the word probably. This is a really good word to practice for that B sound, okay? Probably. Probably. And that last bit, bubbly, kind of goes together. Probably. Probably. It's a little bit softer than normal. It's not too super strong B sounds like probably, okay? It's probably. Probably. Try saying it 3 times. And if you can do that, you should have that middle B sound perfect. Probably, probably, probably. Okay? Repeat after me. Probably, probably, probably.
Who can say it?
One more time.
Who can practice it? Yes?
Probably, probably, probably.
Yes, okay.
Time. Probably, probably, probably.
Probably.
You might know probably is when we're saying that something is likely to happen, okay? You could look out your window and say, it's probably going to rain today if you see dark clouds in the sky. It's probably going to rain. I'm probably going to teach you another lesson in a few days, okay? Probably. Probably. Similar to probably, you have maybe. Maybe, okay? Maybe I'll go out later. I'm not sure, okay? This is sort of like 50-50. Maybe I'll go out later. Maybe I'll go and make myself something to eat. Maybe. 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 So you got probably and maybe. You'll also find this in words like number. 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 What is your number? What's your phone number? Number. And in public. Public. Okay, public. This is a little bit more difficult because it comes right before that L sound. Public. And you've got that lick at the end. Public. 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 And in one more word, the word rebel. 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 I love Star Wars, and the good guys in that are called the Rebel Alliance. The Rebel Alliance. Rebel. 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 This is also a verb, to rebel. There's something crazy English pronunciation for you again. If this is a noun, rebel. If it's a verb, rebel. If you want to learn a little bit more about word stress and sentence stress, check out this lesson up here, okay? Okay, just a quick reminder, if you are enjoying this lesson and finding it helpful and useful, hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future lessons, okay? Now, you can also find the letter B at the end of words, especially in words like describe. Describe. Now, in my opinion, in many British English accents, the B is a little bit softer when it comes at the end of words. So we don't say describer, okay? We soften it a little bit, and that means that we don't put quite as much pressure, not as much air, okay? Describe, b, just a little vibration, b, 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 not b, okay? Not at the same like when we heard in the beginning of words like but, I'd like this, but I don't like that, okay? At the end of words, it's a little bit softer. Okay, describe. This is a word you'll see in nearly every English test, from the TOEIC test to the IELTS test to the Cambridge tests. There will be a question that asks you to describe something. I think the most common question is describe your hometown. Describe your hometown. So, repeat after me. Describe. 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 If you did a good job at describing something, we might say superb. Superb. There's another softer B at the end. Superb. We don't say superb. We say superb. That was superb. It means really, really good. Okay, try this one. Superb.
Superb.
Superb. Superb. If you live outside of the city, you might say that I live in the suburbs. 2 B's in this one, okay? And it sounds, this is a good practice with that P and B, because in the first word we had superb with a a popping, plosive P sound, superb. But this time we've got two B sounds, which means that both are voiced and you just use your vocal cords, okay? Suburb, 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 suburb. Let's try both of them together. The suburb is superb. The suburb is superb.
You can practice this.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
The suburb is superb.
Excellent. Another one. Another
The
one.
suburb is superb.
Yeah, that's great. Another one. The suburb is superb. Okay.
The suburb is superb. You'll also find the letter B at the end of words that have this tube and cube, okay? You'll hear the similarity in sound there. Tube, tube. The underground in London, the trains that go underground to get around the city, is called the tube. Many Londoners, people who live in London, will say, I'm going to get on the tube. The tube means the underground trains, the tube. And of course, cube. Cube. A cube is this shape, okay? A cube. Cube. Okay, now, as another bonus part to this class, B can often be confusing because B is a common silent letter. That means that many words contain this letter B, but we don't say it, okay? Words like bomb and tomb and comb, okay? All of them, as you can see, have that letter B at the end, but it's silent. We don't say tomb. We don't say bomb, okay? We after the M sound at the end, you can see that that B is silent. Tomb, comb, bomb. Now, you probably can see a pattern already. OMB, that is when the B sound comes after a consonant, especially a strong consonant like M, it is normally always silent.
Climb.
So, you'll also see it in words like climb and climbing, okay? Climb and climbing. Also in the animal, lamb, lamb. We don't say lamb, 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 okay? Because again, it comes after that M, that consonant sound, okay? When you've got a strong consonant and then there's a B after it, almost always silent B, okay? But you'll also find a silent B in words like debt, debt, and subtle, subtle. It's a little bit more rare to see this. We don't see this very often. But it is useful to know that sometimes before a consonant, especially a T, as you'll see here, debt and subtle, subtle, you'll see that B sound is again silent, okay? So remember, B sounds after strong consonants and sometimes, rarely, B sounds before are silent. Silent, okay? Practice with me. Bomb, comb, tomb, lamb.
So let's practice them. Number one.
Comb.
Number
Comb.
one. Yeah, yes, comb. Number two.
Comb.
Comb. Three.
Comb.
Comb. Four.
Lamb.
That's right. Okay.
Climb.
Yes. Climb. And debt.
Debt.
Death.
And subtle.
That's
Subtle.
Okay, well done. Let's move on. Okay, now we're going to have some practice sentences so that you can master this B sound, okay? The first one is, Big Ben was built before my birthday.
Let's practice. Who's ready? Yeah,
Big Ben was built before my birthday.
that's great. Okay, another one. Another volunteer.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Big Ben was built before my
Okay.
birthday.
That's great.
was built-
Another one. Yeah. Yes, welcome, Amani. Yes, okay. Let's move to another sentence.
Big Ben was built before my birthday. Lots of b in there. If you put your hand on your throat, you should hear lots of vibrating vocal cords. Big Ben was built before my birthday. Big Ben was built before my birthday. Okay, I want you to practice now, so repeat after me. Big Ben was built before my birthday.
Big Ben was built before my birthday.
Okay, try again. Big Ben was built before my birthday.
Who can read it faster? Only one. Who can read it?
Yes.
Big Ben was built before my birthday.
That's great. Okay.
Okay, well done. Let's have a look at another one. Number 2. Okay, number 2 is a fun little rhyme that is quite famous for English teachers. It is, Betty Botter had some butter, but, she said, this butter's bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, it would make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter, that would make my batter better. Okay, that's a little...
What do we call this? Betty Butter had some butter. What do we call this?
Tongue twister.
Yeah, tongue
Tongue
twister.
twister.
And what? Yeah, it's a tongue twister. And is tongue twisters important in teaching a language?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, why?
It gives the sense for teaching, better for teaching. I mean, gives a sense of kind of communication between the teacher and the students, and it
Yeah,
gives a sense
so
of
which
yes.
skill does it improve to use tongue twisters?
Speaking.
Yeah, of course, speaking, and especially speaking in a context, not only isolated words. Yeah. So who can practice this sentence or tongue twister? And the more you read it faster, the more perfect you'll be in using tongue twisters or in speaking. Who can read
Yes,
it?
Mr. Lewis.
Yes,
Yes.
okay, Mr. Ahmed, go ahead.
Betty Potter had some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, it would make my batter bitter, but a bit of bitter butter that would make my batter bitter.
Awesome, as usual. Okay, another one, another lady. Yes. I want a volunteer. Who's ready? Great.
Okay, I will try.
Yeah, okay. You're perfect, by the way. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Betty Potter had some butter, but she said this butter is bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, it would make me butter better. But a bit of bitter butter, that would make me butter better.
Okay, faster. Again, but faster this time.
Okay.
You can do it, by the way. You're amazing. Yeah, go ahead again. But this time is faster.
Yes.
Okay.
Betty Potter had some butter, but she
Great.
said
Yeah.
this butter's bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, it would make me butter better. But a bit of bitter butter, that would make me butter better.
My butter better. Okay, that's great. Another one. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Another one.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sahar.
Miss
Sahar or
Rehab.
Rehab. Yes.
I'm-
Sorry,
I'm
Rehab.
Rehab.
Okay. Go ahead, Rehab, because I don't see the names. I'm sorry. Yes, Rehab. Go ahead.
Okay, never mind. Betty
Okay.
Potter has some butter, but she said this butter is better. If I bake this better butter, it would make my butter better, but a bit of better butter, that would make my butter better.
Yes, faster. Okay, great. But this time faster, please, Rehab. Yes.
Again?
Yeah,
Okay.
again, but faster this time.
Okay. Betty Butter had some butter, but she said, this butter is better. If I bake this bitter butter, it would make my batter better. But a better butter, that would make my batter better.
Awesome. That's really wonderful.
Thank you.
So this is the way we want to teach our learners when we want to train them on tongue twisters, to read it more than time or several times. The first one, to read it slowly, and after that go faster and faster till they are perfect at it. Okay.
A little bit tough, but lots of B sounds in there. Lots and lots of B sounds in there, okay? Try again. Betty Botter had some butter, but she said, this butter's bitter. If I bake this bitter butter, it will make my batter bitter. Butter, bitter, better, butter, that would make my batter better. Okay? Try that as many times as you need to, okay? It's a tough one, but if you can do that, and especially if you can do it quite fast, your B sound will be perfect. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3 is the big bad bomb went boom, boom, boom. There's a silent B in here somewhere. Can you remember which one it is? Write that in the comments below, okay?
The silent B, which one?
Boom.
Bomb.
Bomb. Yes, bomb.
Boom.
Yes, okay.
Big bad bomb went boom, boom, boom. Where is the silent letter in that sentence? The big bad bomb went boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Okay, repeat after me. The big bad bomb went boom, boom, boom.
Yes, I want one of you to practice this last
The
example.
The big bad bomb went boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, the big bad boom went boom, boom, boom. Another one. Another one. Another one for the last time.
Yes, the big bad boom went boom, boom, boom.
Yes, so where is the silent letter? It's in bomb, because when it comes after B, when it comes after letter M, of course, letter B is silent. Okay.
Okay, for the next one, I want you to tell me in the comments how many silent B's, how many silent B letters there are in this next sentence, okay? Write in the comments how many silent B's are in the next sentence. Ben built a big bomb, but he was dumb, so when he climbed over the tomb, it blew up. Ben built a big bomb, but he was dumb, so when he climbed over the tomb, it blew up. Okay?
So how many silent B here? How many silent B letters?
4.
Let's count. Yeah, 4. Where are they? Where is the first?
Bomb, climb, tomb.
Bomb. Yes, the second.
Bomb.
The second one in
Dumb.
dumb. Number 3. Excellent. Climb. And number 4.
Tomb.
That's really amazing. Okay, who can read the sentence?
Ben
Who's
built
ready?
a big bomb. Yes, miss.
Yeah. Yes,
Ben
of course.
built
Go
a
ahead.
big bomb, but he was dumb, so when he climbed over the tomb, it blew up.
Yeah, outstanding as usual. Thank you so much. Okay, another one. Yes, okay, thank you. Another one.
Yes, miss?
Ben
Yes.
built.
Yes, okay.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead,
all
Miss Sahar,
ears.
go ahead.
Yes, okay, Miss Sahar, I am all ears, listening. Yes.
Okay. Ben built a big bomb, but he was dumb, so when he climbed over the tomb, it blew up.
That's great. Yes, Rahab, go ahead.
Ben built a big bomb, but he was dumb, so when he climbed over the tomb, it blew up.
That's great. Thank you so much. Okay.
How many silent B's in that sentence? Rewind, go back if you need to listen again. And I want to know how many silent B's you can find in that sentence. Thank you so much for joining me for this lesson. Please remember that if you are finding these lessons...
Okay, so once again, the more you practice pronunciation or pronouncing some words in sentences, of course, or in a context, the more perfect you'll be at pronunciation and, of course, at speaking English. Okay, so let's share our presentation for today. And as we have mentioned before, It's an extension for the previous one about teaching approaches. And of course, we have talked at the previous time about 4 approaches, which were the first one that was the audio-lingual approach, okay, which depends on listening to some patterns of the language. And after that, of course, practice the language. After that, we have talked about the direct method, or as we call it, the natural method, because no translation at all, no grammar rules at all, but only oral interaction, either with the teacher or with the peers or with the teacher and the students together. And the number 3 was the communicative teaching approach. It depends on communication and, of course, talking naturally, listening and speaking at the same time. And the last one was the oldest and the most traditional one, which was the grammar translation method, which depended totally on using grammar rules and translating the grammar rule into the mother tongue or the native language, okay? And we talked about the deductive and the inductive approach. Do you remember the deductive and the inductive approaches? Do you remember them? And okay, which approach of them was learner-centered approach, the deductive or inductive approach? Which one was the learner-centered, which depends on the learner? Do you remember?
Inductive approach.
Yeah, of course, the inductive approach. And which one was a teacher-centered approach? Which one was? Yes, of course, deductive approach. Which one depended on discovery or discovering the rule? Which one depended on discovering the rule?
Inductive approach.
Sure, the inductive approach. And which one depended on translating or giving the rule or the passive learner? Which one depended on or was the learner passive on that approach? Which one? It was the inductive or deductive? The learner is passive. Yes, of course, the deductive approach. So welcome to tag 2. Okay, today's learning outcomes will be the same as the previous one. I identify, of course, some approaches, summarize the range of approaches, of course, and outline the benefits and drawbacks of different approaches. And we have told or said that before. Drawbacks means disadvantages or demerits or pros, cons, and of course, benefits means advantages or merits or cons. Okay, so here are some approaches to lessons and tests. Different lesson planning models. So here there are some new models. Okay, we have here some letters. Each group of them stand for or abbreviations for other words. So let's count how many models are here. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What does PPP stand for? PPP. What does it stand for? It's in front of you, by the way. What does PPP stand for?
Test.
Yes. No. PPP, presentation, practice, production. And do you remember the ways of lesson planning when we plan our lessons? What do we write in the presentation stage? Do you remember? What do we write in the presentation stage? Do you remember? Presentation.
Warming up.
Yeah, the warm up. That's right. What else? Only warm up.
Review.
Yeah, warm up, review, the tools. Okay. What about the practice part? What do we write in the practice part?